Have you ever been, like, jolted awake, middle of the night, searing pain?
Oh, yeah.
That involuntary muscle thing, maybe your calf, your thigh, your foot even?
Mm-hmm.
The pain is one thing, but then there's that sort of panic, and it can leave you sore for days afterwards.
Absolutely. It's more than just annoying.
Right. It genuinely disrupts your sleep your whole next day. So today we want to really dive deep into why these things happen, these painful, involuntary contractions, especially in the legs.
Yeah.
Our mission really is to cut through some of the myths and help you pinpoint what might actually be going on. Because, as you often point out, these aren't just random, are they?
No, exactly. What's fascinating, or maybe concerning, is that muscle cramps are absolutely not normal, especially when they're waking you up like that.
Right.
This painful contraction, it can be a pretty significant signal from your body, particularly if it's happening alongside maybe some kind of metabolic disorder.
Okay.
So understanding the specific reason, that's the key. Because, it matters if it's a muscular issue or maybe something with the nerves, even vascular, like blood flow problems, or, as we might get into, an electrolytic disorder. Electrolytic? So like body chemistry.
Exactly. An imbalance in those vital minerals and chemicals your body uses for, well, everything. Nerve signals, making muscles work properly. We really need to figure out the precise cause to actually fix it.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more then. When we say muscle cramp, what's actually happening? Like, how is it different from me just deciding to flex my bicep?
Where normally muscle contraction is voluntary. You choose to do it.
Right, flex, relax.
Exactly. You decide to flex, and then, crucially, you can relax it. A cramp, though, that's involuntary. You completely lose control over that muscle, or maybe a whole group of muscles. And the real core of the problem is finding where that failure point is happening.
Failure point.
Yeah, like where the signal goes wrong.
Okay.
If we don't understand that, we often just end up, trying to soothe the symptom, rubbing it out, stretching.
Right, treating the symptom, not the cause.
Precisely.
Okay.
Instead of correcting the underlying issue.
I have definitely grabbed a banana in that middle of the night panic. I bet a lot of our listeners have too.
Very common.
There's this pervasive idea, isn't there? Like it's the universal cure-all. So when that cramp hits, is just reaching for a banana or popping a magnesium pill really the answer? Is it that simple?
It's so common, that belief.
Yeah.
That magnesium or bananas, plantains will just fix all your cramp problems.
Yeah.
And, well, frankly, that intervention is just, it's very far from the reality for a lot of people.
Okay.
Now, look, nobody's going to argue magnesium isn't incredibly important. It is. Or that bananas aren't good foods. They are.
Sure.
But we just cannot rely on them as this sort of universal fix for every single type of cramp.
Yeah.
We really, really need to understand the specific cause behind your cramps.
Okay, that makes sense. So to help you listening right now, start thinking about your own patterns. Let's ask some key questions.
Good idea.
When do you usually get these cramps? Is it mostly daytime activity or is it that classic nighttime awakening?
Important distinction.
And where? Where on your body? Legs, calves, thighs. Those are common, right?
Right.
But what if you're getting them elsewhere? Maybe your spine, your back, upper limbs, even like your neck, the cervical spine. Or you mentioned the abdominal region earlier?
Yes.
These clues, these observations, they're the first step, aren't they? Helping you become a bit of a detective for your own body.
Absolutely. Those details about location are invaluable. For instance, that abdominal thing is fascinating.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we see quite a few patients who get cramps in their abdominal muscles, their core.
Yeah.
And it's actually linked to a visceral dysfunction.
Visceral, like organs.
Exactly. A functional issue with their internal organs, especially digestive ones.
Wow.
And that problem then sort of translates into an issue with the core muscles. So it's a powerful insight, right? Abdominal cramps might not just be about your abs being tired.
They could be a signal from deeper inside?
Precisely. A signal that your digestive health might be influencing your core stability, your comfort. Where the cramp shows up can tell us a lot about where it's coming from.
That's a huge connection. Digestive health impacting core muscles. Wow. Okay, you mentioned electrolytic issues earlier as another potential cause.
Yes.
Can you dive into that a bit more? What does that mean in terms of our body chemistry and muscles?
Right. So when we talk electrolytic problems, we're basically talking about the body's metabolism, its fundamental chemical processes.
Okay.
It's all about the balance of critical minerals in your system.
Yeah.
And for muscle function, there are 4 that are really, really important. Sodium, calcium, potassium, and magnesium.
Sodium, calcium, potassium, magnesium. Got it.
Yeah. And if you understand sort of how each of these works, you can start to see if you're getting enough and getting them in the right way.
How do they work?
Think of it almost like an electrical circuit for your muscles. One electrolyte, like calcium, helps start the contraction, fires it up.
Okay.
Another one, potassium, is crucial for depolarizing the muscle membrane. Basically, it helps disconnect the contraction signal. It's like the off switch.
Ah, okay. The off switch.
And then magnesium plays a big role in stimulating the actual relaxation phase.
So it's not just about contracting, it's actively relaxing too.
Exactly. And this is critical. Your body needs pretty much the same amount of energy and support to relax a muscle as it does to contract it in the first place.
I never thought of it that way. Relaxing takes energy.
It does. With those depolarization processes, the switching on happening in between. So getting these 4 elements right, primarily through your diet, is absolutely fundamental.
Primarily through diet, so supplements.
Well, supplements can be useful, definitely. But they're going to be pretty much useless if your actual diet, your foundation, is deficient. You can't supplement your way out of a bad diet, fundamentally.
Right, okay. Build on sand, it won't hold up.
Right.
So if the foundation is diet, how do we make sure that foundation is strong? Especially with everything we hear about, modern food quality.
Yes, this brings us to a really significant problem. It's quite sad, actually, but it's real. Modern malnutrition.
Malnutrition, even in places with plenty of food.
Yes. Because in this modern era, the actual real foods we eat are often, well, they're undernourished themselves.
Undernourished food? How?
There are a few big reasons. First, you've got the rise of ultra-processed and refined products. They are everywhere, they're super available, and crucially, they're economically accessible. They're cheap.
Yeah, much cheaper usually.
That's a huge factor right there. But then, beyond that, you have the impact of intensive agriculture and extensive livestock farming, too.
Okay.
These practices have severely depleted our soils over decades. The very ground our food grows in, or where the animals we eat graze. It's becoming empty of the vital nutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals.
Right, the soil itself is lacking.
Exactly. The soil is empty of what's supposed to feed our food in the first place. And this widespread nutrient deficit, it directly undermines our muscles' ability to function properly. And that can definitely show up as frustrating cramps. And while there's some amazing individual independent farms doing things differently, they can't supply the whole planet's needs on their own. It's a systemic issue.
That's a truly sobering thought. The very foundation of our food system is compromised. Okay. So given that challenge, this huge challenge, the crucial question for you listening is, how can we actively try and bridge that nutritional gap? Especially for our muscles. What food should we focus on?
Absolutely. We need to be really intentional with our choices. So, okay, we said bananas or plantains aren't a magic bullet. Right? But they definitely have their place. They contain potassium. Beyond that, think avocado. Great source of potassium and magnesium. Nuts, like walnuts, are good. Spinach is fantastic for magnesium.
Okay, avocado, nuts, spinach.
Yeah. And just generally fruits and vegetables. Ideally cooked properly to retain nutrients, not boiled for hours until they're mush.
Gentle cooking makes sense.
And don't forget quality protein sources. Like meats, they provide various minerals too.
Protein is important too.
Definitely. And on that note, it's particularly important to mention people following vegan diets. They often face significant challenges with malnutrition because of these issues.
Right, cutting out whole food groups.
Exactly. So they need to be really active in making sure they're sourcing these key nutrients orally through their food choices and maybe very specific targeted supplementation.
Okay. And if someone does need supplements, you mentioned magnesium earlier.
Yes. If supplements are needed, magnesium is often a good starting point. Ideally, something like magnesium bisglycinate, which tends to be well absorbed.
Bisglycinate, okay.
And potassium can also be key, remember, for that depolarization, that off-switch process in the muscle.
Right. Magnesium and potassium.
Yeah, those are often the big players when it comes to electrolytes and muscle function. So if we kind of bring this all together, what we've really seen is that night cramps, they're rarely just random. They're not just something to ignore.
Sick.
They're often your body sending pretty clear signals. Whether the root cause is muscular or nervous, maybe vascular, or this electrolytic imbalance we've talked so much about, often driven by nutritional deficiencies. Understanding why is always the first step.
Listening to your body.
Exactly. Listening to your body and then figuring out how to provide it with the fundamental building blocks it needs. And so often, that comes right back to the quality of the food we're putting in.
So what does this all mean for you, listening? Well, maybe next time you feel that horrible jarring pain of a night cramp, it's not just about, stretching it out or grabbing that banana immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it's actually a profound invitation, a chance to think about the bigger picture, those wider implications of our modern food systems, the soil depletion, not just for cramps, but for your entire health and well-being.
It really connects.
Yeah, it encourages us all to ask, maybe, where does my food really come from?
Yeah.
And how nutritionally dense is it, actually? Something to think about.